At the same time, I've already disappointed Matilda and her family once. I don't know what's gonna happen if I disappoint them again.
Oh dear, that does not sound good. Like, as it was, Matilda's family weren't exactly happy that Niles wasn't going to get married on this trip, but they accepted it. They accepted it as long as he'd do the knocking ceremony. So if he wants to back out of that now as well, he's going to have a real problem on his hands. But from family drama to drama with friends. As if Veah and Sunny didn't already have enough issues, Sunny's friend has just added some more.
I feel completely blindsided by Ollie telling me that I need to be Muslim to be with Sunny. Sunny's never told me that. But he's not disagreeing with Ollie in this moment. This
is becoming a theme with these two, isn't it? The biggest problems with their relationship always seem to somehow include other people. But before we get to their friends, let's kick off proceedings with Niles and Matilda. So the last we saw the pair, Niles had received the blessing from Matilda's family. They were okay with him postponing the wedding. And when we joined them this morning, that news has left them both waking up happy.
I'm so relieved that they took my decision to delay the wedding so well. Even though we're not getting married on this trip, we will do the knocking ceremony.
This whole knocking ceremony seems, in theory, to be a good compromise. Niles sees it almost as an engagement ceremony, but I'm not exactly sure he knows exactly what he's in for. You see, Matilda is worried. She's worried that Niles is going to string her along. He's going to make her wait for ages before the actual wedding. And if she were to hear what he actually has to say, I think she might be even more concerned.
Matilda's family did make me promise that I would come back and marry Matilda as soon as possible, but, you know, the key word here is possible.
No, Niles, no. Don't go doing that again. Don't go looking for semantics, keywords to get out of it. It's a shame. It's a real concern because when he actually speaks to Matilda face to face, it's full of promises. He promises her he'll be back soon. He assures her she won't be shamed. He won't take ages to return. But I can't help but feel that Niles, yet again, might just be saying what he thinks she wants to hear. He's now fully aware that in her culture, the optics of the situation really matter. If it seems like her intended husband has abandoned her, well, her community will gossip. They'll feed off that. That will affect her reputation and probably also her family's reputation too. Now, on that topic of family, it's at this point that Niles and Matilda decide to go back to her family home. Keep in mind, he's visited, but he's never gone inside. They sat outside last time. Today he'll be seeing the inside. And as they arrive, Matilda's family extend a very warm greeting.
Ah, Uncle.
Yeah, you are welcome. You are welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Even despite the way that Niles has disappointed them, they're being very gracious here. But as soon as Niles enters the house, he immediately stops any form of nicety. He can't help himself. He's shocked. The house is nothing like what he's used to. And as he enters the room where Matilda's mum keeps her plantain, the plantain she sells to make money, Niles becomes even more shocked.
This is the ripe plantain, ready for tomorrow. We will go to market and sell.
What are the tires for?
We have sheep and goats here.
Matilda explains to him that the animals try to come in and eat the plantain. So in order to try and keep them out, they put tyres up. Now, this understandably is a culture shock to Niles. He's never seen anything like this. Never in his wildest dreams did he expect the house to look like this. He had no clue. Never in all of the video chats that he had with Matilda did he get even the slightest inkling that this is how her family home was. And it gets even worse. You see, to Niles' shock, Matilda and her family don't even have running water. Yeah, it's bad, very bad. And Niles' face isn't exactly hiding his thoughts.
This is not a house. They have dirt floors, barely any furniture.
My room, okay?
I just feel bad they're living like this.
Matilda explains that this is the house that she grew up in. So Niles insulting everything about it probably won't go down too well. Like, there's just no need for what Niles is doing and saying. When he sees Matilda's bedroom, he compares compares it to a prison cell. All you're missing is some grey paint and this would look exactly like a prison, he says.
This is not how human beings are supposed to live.
Niles, if there was ever a time to tell a little white lie, this would probably be it. There's no need to share those thoughts, even if that's genuinely what you think. And it doesn't take a genius to realise that hearing what he has to say has offended Matilda. It's made her quite unhappy.
It's normal for us. Besides, this is what we can afford for now. Niles is being insulting.
Now, to her credit, Matilda says she gets it. She understands that Niles is being blunt because of his autism, but at the same time, she doesn't like it. She doesn't like quite how blunt he's being. So, as Niles goes off in search of Wi-Fi, Matilda takes the opportunity to speak to her sisters about the knocking ceremony. She asks them how much money they'll need. How much money will we need from Niles to cover the cost of food? To which her sister estimates that the small one I did, and she doesn't mention the large one, but the small one I did is roughly about $250. And that doesn't include the cost of drinks. Yeah, it seems like quite a lot. They must have clearly prepared a lot of food. And Matilda really hopes that this isn't going to cause a problem for Niles. And when we next join Matilda and Niles as they're walking to Matilda's market stall to sell the plantain, Matilda shares her thoughts on the matter.
In the US, it's not difficult to get money. Sometimes you will go and sit at the office, but in Ghana, we struggle.
Now, first things first, the way that she's carrying that heavy load of plantain on her head is seriously impressive. Look at it, it's incredible. But going back to the subject of money, there's something about the way that Matilda said that makes me think she thinks Niles is more wealthy than he actually might be. I really don't think she fully understands Niles' financial position. Remember, he's told us he's not able to pay for the wedding yet, like he's trying to save money and work lots of jobs. I get the sense that $250 and then some might take him aback, might be more than he was anticipating. Still, Matilda decides to park this for now, because before raising the issue of money, there's something else that's been bugging her, something else that she wants to get off her chest.
Like when you went to my mom's place, you were saying that this here you look like prison. You see the way you take your shower? It's not good. Yeah, it hurts me that day.
I don't mind you being blunt, says Matilda. I understand it's because of your autism, but Niles, you also need to understand that if my mum were to hear that, she'd be hurt. And she's right, it's a valid point. She's right to raise that with him. Look, I think the way that Matilda broached this, the way that she speaks to Niles about this, is good. She's tackled it well, and Niles appreciates it too.
People have just given up on me when things got difficult. They would always just expect me to improve on my own. Matilda's teaching me how I should be treating her.
In any relationship, right, understanding each other takes time. But what fills me with hope is that if they can communicate well, if they can carry on communicating like this, well, then they have a shot. The thing is, no sooner do they sort out this problem than another one emerges. You see, Matilda explains that for their knocking ceremony, Matilda and her family will be inviting 90 guests. 90 rather than the normal 30. And what's more, Niles is the one who's expected to foot the bill.
You have to give me money to give it to Charlotte. So I will need maybe $300 to give Charlotte so that she can prepare food.
As suspected, this is way more than Niles had in mind, and it's only just the beginning. This is just the food, the small food. He's also going to have to pay for, presumably, the large meal, the drinks, and oh, by the way, there's also a bride price that he's expected to pay. Yeah, it's all adding up. So, if Niles hadn't explained his true financial position before, well, there's no time like the present. He needs to let Matilda know where he stands. But, as ever, Niles is worried about coming clean.
At the same time, I've already disappointed Matilda and her family once. I don't know what's going to happen if I disappoint them again.
So who exactly has been invited to this knocking ceremony? Why is it so much larger than the average? Well, when we join them later on that day, when they're out with her brother and a friend, Matilda shares just how extensive the guest list is. She's invited her friends, her mum's friends, even her sister's friends. Heck, she tells her friends, why don't you invite your friends too? Like, this is well and truly over the top. And Niles, there and then, tries to put a stop to it.
It's like, you know, as it is, I'm gonna have to tell her to reduce her guest list as it is.
I will not reduce anything.
It's actually refreshing to see this, right? It's refreshing to see Niles actually communicate with Matilda. But the problem is, they're not on the same page. She just ignores him. She's adamant she will not be reducing the guest list. If anything, it might increase. So with so many friends, acquaintances, relatives on Matilda's side, who will be representing Niles's family, asks Matilda's friends. After all, the whole point of a knocking ceremony is for one family to come to the other family to formally ask for Matilda's hand in marriage. But seeing as Niles's family don't approve, seeing as they won't even jump on a video call, Niles's solution is to suggest having a video call with a friend from his local community. But as ever, there's a problem. Matilda isn't sure that this friend approves of her or is willing to do what's necessary.
He is very traditional, and if he doesn't agree to represent as Niles' father, I don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah, it's really starting to sound like this ceremony isn't going to be as easy to arrange as Niles had hoped. Now, from one problem to another, let's catch up with Sunny and Veah. So these two have finally made up and put the whole ex-boyfriend scandal behind them, at least for now. But in a bid to get away from all of that, today Sunny's taking Veah to meet his friends and play cricket.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
My friends are from all over, but we are all Muslim.
Sunny's friends clearly have no clue what to say to Veah. It's all a little awkward, and Sunny himself reveals his friends are concerned. They're concerned about the cultural differences between the pair of them. Either way, they invite her to play cricket with them, and before too long, it becomes apparent that Sunny's best friend has a lot of opinions.
You're gonna see his father. So you're gonna wearing like other t-shirt or something like that so you can recover your body and try to...
Excuse me? What? Let me just say, Veah does a remarkable job keeping calm while this complete stranger lectures her on how he thinks she should be dressing. So why doesn't Sunny step in? Why doesn't he tell his friend to butt out and leave her alone? Well, instead, Sunny's response is to reassure his friend, don't worry, I will be teaching her.
I'm gonna try to teach us my culture.
Yeah, you have to explain her everything. If you're gonna get married him, I think you have to change your religion to be a Muslim.
Again, this guy is crossing so many lines that it's insane. Frankly, that's none of his business, is it? Now, Sunny doesn't exactly seem to be very happy with his friend, but at the same time, he also doesn't stick up for Veah. He doesn't tell his friend to stop interfering, stop causing problems. And hearing what's just been said, Veah is now alarmed.
I feel completely blindsided by Ollie telling me that I need to be Muslim to be with Sunny. Sunny's never told me that, but he's not disagreeing with Ollie in this moment.
Now, does Sunny comfort her? Does he tell her that this isn't his opinion? No, he doesn't. Instead, he proceeds to tell his friend all about the issues and fights they've had since she's arrived in South Africa. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy how Sunny is inviting this guy, basically inviting the guy into their relationship. He's sharing intimate details that the guy doesn't need to know.
You want to bring your ex, why did you came to see Sunny?
Oh, the irony, right? This time, it's Sunny bringing in a third party. Now, it's worth pointing out that despite feeling attacked, Veah chooses to let it go. She doesn't bite back or argue, but once in private, on the way back to their hotel room, she does address the elephant in the room. She does straight up ask Sunny, is your hope that I'll convert to Islam?
Do you want me to convert to your religion?
I said let's focus on ourselves for now. Then when we know that we are very happy, then we can see where we can go from here, you know?
That really isn't much of an answer, is it? It's pretty evasive. Now, Veah picks up on this and she reiterates to the camera crew, as she's done in the past, that she will not be changing her religion. If that's what he expects, then it's a deal breaker. But, she goes on to say, for now, given how many fights we've had, given that I've travelled halfway across the world to be here, all I want at this present moment in time is to just have fun with Sunny. Religion can wait for another day. So, in pursuit of fun, the pair decide to go swimming, and it makes for a very romantic atmosphere.
There's definitely a vibe going on between us.
It makes me to feel like it's happening in movie and it's happening in my real life also.
Look, it's nice to see. Both of them are choosing to live in the moment and give the relationship a chance to blossom. Yes, there are problems. Yes, there are things on the horizon. But none of that even matters if there isn't a vibe between them. And for the first time, we're seeing that there is a vibe. Now, will that make all of their problems magically disappear? No, of course it won't. But at least Veah is aware of that. She's going into this eyes wide open.
Me and Sunny have some things to figure out. The conversation of religion has to happen. Getting over the Rory situation and our trust issues.
Even one of those problems on their own could be enough to break this relationship, let alone all of them. But for now at least, they're doing a great job of ignoring them. But I can't help but wonder, how long can that last?